I'm Mike, and today, vegan-directed hate. Vegans are widely disliked for their alleged self-righteousness. We've been the butt of a lot of jokes.
Short answer, being vegan just makes you better than most people.
Bingo.
We've been referred to as bearded hipsters.
Vegans, these poor bearded hipster.
Half true. And we've even been compared to ISIS.
Veganism is almost like ISIS lately.
In my experience, this hate is entirely uncalled for. 99% of vegans are nice, normal people like 99% of the rest of the population. It helps to hate vegans at least a little bit to keep eating meat and other animal products happily, to just ignore what's at the other end of your fork. To me, it is becoming increasingly clear that most vegan-directed hate is not actually based in actual direct personal experience with vegans. Present-day vegans like Isina O'Neill and John Venus admit to hating vegans before they had ever either interacted with vegans or fully even understood what veganism was.
You know, I get everyone who, talks down to veganism, to vegans, because I was the same way. I fucking hated the shit out of veganism and vegans and the whole idea behind the diet.
This is because it's like social norm to hate vegans. It's fashionable to dislike vegans. And it's cool when somebody like Jennifer Lawrence calls herself an anti-vegan. But we need to zoom out and drop our social lens and ask ourselves, is it actually cool to be the opposite of somebody whose goal is to not exploit animals? Especially when I'm sure you say you love animals yourself. It seems that people have been sold the archetypal smug vegan character that is so easy to hate, and 95% of people eat meat, and only 1% of people approximately are vegan, and so it's easy for a minority like that to not be represented and for those stereotypes to be proliferated. But at the root of this is how vegans' very existence seems to invoke a lot of guilt. How it's becoming increasingly clear that we don't require meat nutritionally and that it's even carcinogenic, the negative effects that animal agriculture is having on the planet, and of course, animal suffering. And to keep from being a very guilty omnivore, you need to perpetuate the lie that eating meat and other animal products is harmless. You really need a narrative, and a good narrative really needs a villain. In this case, vegans. But are vegans really villains? I mean, we do kill a lot of plants. It's true. Though vastly more plants are killed in the production of animal foods. All this aside, maybe you did have a legitimate experience where a vegan was an asshole in your view, to you personally. But I have to say to that, what if an atheist, for example, is an asshole to you? Are you gonna hate all atheists from that point on? No. But I think a lot of vegan-directed hate just stems from how passionate vegans are. Let's say you have a really brazen vegan shouting, "Meat is murder," to people as they walk out of a steakhouse. Question is, who's really the bigger asshole here? Yes, the vegan is shouting at someone, which is conventionally an asshole-ish thing to do. But on the other hand, the person who came out of the steakhouse just paid to eat a dead animal for pleasure. Zooming out from an ethical perspective, who's the biggest asshole? I'll let you decide. You can decide that. Point is, people have been caught in the fiery wake of vegan passion, and they have been burned. Next, we can look to PETA as a perfect example of amplified vegan hate. Sure, yeah, PETA doesn't do everything right, and a lot of vegans actually don't like PETA, as I'm sure you'll find out in the comments below after this. But one thing is for sure, they get more hate than actual organizations that murder people because they are vegan. One example of this double standard, PETA offered to pay the overdue water bills of people in Detroit who volunteered to go vegan for 1 month. Despite one woman who got all of her overdue water bills paid for saying she felt amazing on her vegan diet, people still said that PETA was committing blackmail, that they didn't value human life, and that jail was not a good enough punishment for this. Of course, it was viewed by all those people and a lot of vegans as just taking advantage of needy to push their agenda, which is, of course, saving animals. But how much hate do these people have for, say, Boko Haram, who actually uses child soldiers? Probably not enough. What about how before churches feed the needy, they will often make you listen to prayer first? They will literally withhold your food until you listen to prayer. And that's pushing an agenda, but it really doesn't bother people. I also think a lot of what makes vegans so hateable is that they hit so close to home, that they're so right. It's a little bit like the little kids on the playground and the little boy shouting to a girl, hey, you like Billy, and the girl will be like, I don't like Billy, and then running off because she actually really likes Billy. She doesn't want anybody to know it. In the sense that if you go and say, hey, you kill animals, somebody's gonna be like, I don't kill animals, I'm not a murderer. They're gonna be really mad. But if you say, hey, you kill people, they'd be like, I don't kill people. What? Like, there's no guilt there. But when there is guilt there, you get a very strong reaction. I'll leave you with one final possible reason that people hate vegans, and this is really just a theory that has to do with the animalistic nature of people. And it is that vegans are kind of by definition telling people to not eat some of their food. They're actually challenging a portion of their calories, like maybe 1/4 to 1/3 of their calories, saying, hey, you shouldn't eat that, and that triggers like, hey, don't take away my food kind of response that's just angry and animalistic. In the end, vegan hate just isn't validated. No matter how smug somebody wants vegans to be, it just isn't an excuse to put down people that are trying to not exploit animals. And if you watch this video and you aren't vegan and you are offended by me in this video, think maybe, is it because what I'm saying is true? If what I was saying had no basis in reality, would you still be offended? I don't think so, and I think that has a lot to do with this whole thing. Alright, that's it for today. Let me know down below if you think vegans deserve all the hate they get. Are they as bad as ISIS, who literally beheads people? Alright, that's it. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe and like and all that jazz.